Super Bowl 59 taking place in New Orleans. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs battle it out once again, just like Super Bowl 57 in Arizona, now in New Orleans in a dome. Just like Super Bowl 57, I think this is going to be another classic. Super Bowl 57 had a lot of high-power offense, just like this game does. And I think, to be honest, both these teams are better than what Super Bowl 57 had for us. Just like that close game, 38-35, when the Chiefs pulled out a nail-biter. Some people will say it was because of the refs, but I digress. We're going to be looking at both championship games in the NFC and AFC respectively and see what advantages can both teams pull out for this nail-biting game. Now, the clips I will be putting in the background are the NFL highlights from the AFC NFC Championships and Super Bowl 57, so all rights go to the NFL and NFLPA, so I do not get copyright. Now, before we continue on with the video, if you guys like this type of content, make sure you guys like and subscribe and help your boy out. Now, on to the video, shall we? As we shall. Now, before we talk about the in-depth analysis, we got to connect the dots here a little bit and how they got here to this Super Bowl from the divisional wild card, etc., etc., etc. Now, since I'm already on the Philadelphia Eagles game in the background, let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles game and why they won. And I think there was a lot of reasons why, but one reason why is that the Commanders in general is just a young, fresh team. New coach, new quarterback, completely new of things, and this is the first time being in the playoffs since like the 1990s, so we can give them a big fat break. And the Eagles, they're experienced. Jalen Hurts has been in the playoffs for the past 3 years, so he is definitely experienced with this Eagles offense. Now, when you think of the NFL type of offense, now you think of a high passing game. Not for the Philadelphia Eagles. 7 rushing touchdowns versus the Washington Commanders last week in the NFC Championship. That is unreal. Hurts had 3 touchdowns, Barkley had 3 touchdowns, and so did Will Shipley, their backup running back. Keep in mind, their very first touchdown was their very first play on offense for Philadelphia, was a 66-yard rushing touchdown with Saquon Barkley. And then just the next drive after, Saquon Barkley, his very first carry of that drive was also a touchdown. So his very 2 first carries were for 6. Now to look at on the other side for the Philadelphia Eagles, their defense held Jane Daniels to 1 touchdown and underneath 300 passing yards and got an interception. So ultimately, they did really good in the air attack versus the Commanders. And another thing they did really good at was popping out the ball on defense and special teams. Look, if you throw or give up more turnovers, you cannot expect to win, especially in these high sacrificed games just like the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. But hey, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and they beat the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both away, keep in mind. So this season for the Commanders is absolutely unreal, unthinkable what they did. And in this offseason, we would not have thought they would have came even near with this rookie quarterback. But we got to go to a better game, in my opinion, where my favorite team was playing, and it was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills for the AFC Championship on CBS. And I got to tell you, this was a crazy, scary, nerve-wracking game, emotional game, just like they all really are versus Buffalo in the AFC Championship. So while I was watching this game, before I go into the good, I will say the bad, because that's what I want to do, because there was a lot of good and somewhat of bad. And for the bad, I would say that in the second half, they easily adjusted to the run game. Because we all saw in the first half, in the first drive of the game, Allen could have thrown multiple interceptions that very first drive. So that could have went very poorly for them. And then in the second half, they slowly went to the run game. And when they went slowly into the run game, they chewed up a lot more clock, and they made the game a lot more scary in that matter. So when they got the run game going, they got the whole game going, the whole half. And that's where I really thought that, hey, Buffalo could do something. Because the first half, they didn't do much. It was like 10-21 in the first half. And that was scary for Buffalo. and then they changed it to go to what they do best, into the run game with James Cook and Allen. So they did really good at coaching adjustments, and I gotta say, one of my favorite terms I say to a lot of my players or friends is adjust to the adjustment. If they blitz, throw a quick pass. If it's cover 2, throw a post or up the seam beer. You will always find weaknesses whatever the coverage is, no matter how difficult the coverage is. And a lot of people like to criticize Sean McDermott for how conservative he is as a coach. Not this game. He went for 2, 3 times. Now ultimately, did he get a single one? No. And in my opinion, that was another reason why they lost. Because they got 0, and I mean 0 2-point conversions. That is 2, 4, 6 points that they missed out on. That is a whole touchdown right there that they missed out on because they cannot get a QB sneak from the 1-yard line, and they just could not pass it in from the 2. Like, that's why I think their demise was. If you cannot get at the 1-yard line, you kind of deserve to lose, respectfully. Now, going into the good of this game for the Chiefs is obviously we clutched up when we needed to. Let's be real. We did the adjustment to the adjustment thing. Okay? The QB sneaks, the QB spies, all that stuff. We did a whole lot better than what we did in Week 11 when we gave up that 24 rushing touchdown to Josh Allen when we needed them to stop that. And so, ultimately, we just came up clutch when Buffalo couldn't, one step ahead, and we got the ball to all of our receivers that you can think of. D-Hop, Brown, Worthy, Kelsey, everyone that you can think of, we literally did. And so I think that was another key part. Just being able to spread the ball out to all these different receivers, speed guys nonetheless, is a really impressive feat, just like what we did in Super Bowl 54 versus the Niners. Now, one thing I do think we got to work on for this game, because the Eagles are no easy team to go against no matter what, and I think we got to get our run game better. We do. If we want to have a good chance in the fourth quarter, chewing clock, we got to have Pacheco at full health and Kareem Hunt at full health, because they are both power backs. So if we can use them and drain clock and run them up the middle, who knows how far we can go into this game versus Philadelphia. So aligning all the pieces here and looking back at Super Bowl 57, this is no matter what going to be a good game. Saquon Barkley, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. No matter what, this game's going to have me on the edge of my seat, and probably for a lot of Chiefs and Eagles fans. But as y'all famously know me, I'm a big Chiefs guy, so give me the Chiefs to win it in a close one in Super Bowl 59, back-to-back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Like this type of content? Make sure you like and subscribe. And type down in the comments what's your favorite team and who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 59. As always, it's your boy Nash, and I got a dash. And I'll see you in the very next one.